This week, we take time to acknowledge the ones who were affected by the terrible tornadoes and storms that blew through Amory, Mississippi and surrounding areas. We'll find out from those affected the hardest part of losing their homes, and we later hear about the students doing extraordinary things here at THS.
But that's all over.
Welcome back to another episode of WTHS News. I'm Hailee Spradling. This past Friday, a tornado hit Amory, damaging homes, schools, and buildings. Families in Mississippi were devastated, leading Governor Tate Reeves to issue a state of emergency. Channing Cooper has more on the situation in Amory.
While the weather was foreseen, no one expected the amount of damage that was caused. For example, homes are barely visible because of the trees and wind. This storm left Amory citizens frightened for their safety, and even if they themselves weren't harmed, the same could not be said for their community.
The storm has affected me in a very difficult way that I never saw coming. It's affected me more mentally and emotionally, thankfully not physically, but it's been a very traumatic experience for my family and myself. And each day I just wake up and just thank God that we made it through.
And that's why meteorologists always say that you need to find a safe place.
I woke up to the tornado warning because I still live in Monroe County. I just live outside of town. And when I woke up, I saw that it was headed towards Amory. So I immediately texted my mom and was like, get in your safe place. And she responded as she was getting in there, and she said, it's here. I didn't hear anything for a few more minutes. I couldn't get in contact with her, and then finally got in contact with her, but just rethinking it, it kind of gives me chills because their home is a little bit older, and I didn't know if it was going to hit them directly, but just kind of get that text after kind of we're okay. At least we're not getting rained on in the living room, so that was kind of a relief. But to have somebody that I know, that I love, kind of in and close to that path, it was hard.
After surviving an EF3 tornado, Amory citizens need support in any way possible. In a time of such confusion and uncertainty, heroes are emerging from all over Mississippi to contribute to the rebuilding of Amory, including Coach Jordan Graham, Tupelo Middle School's football coach.
So I reached out to some coaching buddies, and we got together and we brought some chainsaws down, we brought a bunch of water and tarps, and we're just dropped off the supplies, and now we're about to go cut some trees and try to clear debris. Started with a Facebook post. I got a chainsaw and I got a decent back and two hands, so I figured I need to help.
With a lot of damage throughout Amory, it's important for people to stick together.
Even though it is unfortunate that a tornado struck, a greater sense of community is being built through the volunteers' aid. The victims of the storm may be unsure of how they will proceed, but they are confident that they have Mississippi locals to support them. I'm Channing Hooper, WTHS News.
Thanks, Channing. Here are a few ways that you can help. The Create Foundation and United Way of Northeast Mississippi created a relief fund for the tornado victims in Monroe County. Donations can be made online at createfoundation.com or unitedwaynems.org. You can also call 662-841-9133 to donate over the phone. Last Friday, Tupelo High School hosted the first Special Olympics in 4 years for students throughout North Mississippi schools. Julia James tells us more.
Behind me, several schools are gathered to participate in the Special Olympics, which has not been held since 2019. The Special Olympics took place on Friday, March 24th at Tupelo High School. Volunteers and participants from all across Northeast Mississippi were greeted with cheers from the Tupelo cheerleaders. The athletes competed in several competitions, including races, tennis ball throws, and cornhole. The Special Olympics focuses on children and adults' abilities rather than their disabilities, and is eagerly anticipated by many.
I'm just happy to be here.
for this special occasion because this is my last year, and I just want to just feel the energy before I leave this special occasion behind.
Mr. Holland, a career readiness teacher at Tupelo High School, enjoys the Special Olympics because it gives special needs students a day just for them.
There's several things that shine a light on special needs students, but none like the Special Olympics. I mean, there were over 1,100 Special Olympian athletes, and it just gives them to be the rock star for the day, gives them the opportunity to do that. So that's why we do it.
The Special Olympics was a memorable event that focused on inclusivity and will be remembered for days to come. I'm Julia Jane Averett, WTHS News.
Thank you, Julia Jane. Last Wednesday, THS's very own Make-A-Wish Club was able to gift one special student a trip to Disney. On March 22nd, the Make-A-Wish Club presented a Disney trip to a special Nettleton student by the name of Mia Grace. With the help of Wish coordinators in New Albany who helped plan the surprise, the band, cheerleaders, and students got to reveal the trip to Mia. Carter Sanders was introduced to Make-A-Wish as a child and brought the club to Tupelo.
So I was introduced to the Make-A-Wish Foundation at a young age, and my sister was involved with it at her old school, so I decided to bring it to Tupelo because it's such a great organization and for a really great cause.
She hopes to continue the club and be a light in children's lives. While students were making a difference back at the high school last Wednesday, THS journalism students were away in Oxford, Mississippi learning new skills to improve their programs. This year was the first year back on the Ole Miss campus in 4 years. Our students attended classes on different areas of journalism where they learned skills to bring back to THS. After, they had lunch on campus where they got to interact with students from other publications and attended the award ceremony where WTHS won multiple awards. The WTHS staff won 22 awards in many categories, including Best of Show, Best Sports Story, and Best Opening Sequence.
I think MSPA has changed for me in many ways because when we first started the program, there was only 5 of us in the classroom daily, so we had to do literally everything, and our program has grown over the years. We've got like 40 more people on our staff, and I think that the awards have really just progressed and shown that we've grown over these last 3 years.
The hard work WTHS puts in has not gone unnoticed. Congratulations on all the staff has accomplished. Also, congratulations to Wave Media for their work. Our staff is not the only ones making big plays, so have many of our athletes. Lundin gives us more with this week's sports.
Welcome back to WTHS Sports Media with your favorite host, Lundin Smith. Boys and girls powerlifting team competes today and tomorrow at the state finals. Elijah Green started powerlifting during his freshman year of high school and has been targeting the state championship yearly. Elijah has placed in at least 7 matches and has hit his personal record on deadlifting of 550 pounds at North Half, where he placed second, but he plans on winning it all.
It's a little pressure, it ain't too much. You go do what you know you can do and enjoy yourself.
Elijah Green isn't the only one with a plan to win state. Morgan Brown is a sophomore who is hungry for more.
Well, I've grown up in like a CrossFit gym. My dad is a CrossFit coach and my mom also works out, and so like I have that background and it just like motivated me to join the team.
She is doing extraordinary things considering this is her first year on powerlifting and has made it all the way to state. Along with Elijah and Morgan, Ethan Belcher is fighting for that #1 spot.
Pole vaulting takes a lot of energy. It takes basically every muscle in your body because you have to run, you have to use your upper body, your core, your back, everything. So it takes a lot out of you when you do it.
Ethan Belcher is a growing name in the track world as he is #2 in the state for pole vaulting. This Saturday, he continues to prove why he is #2 at the next track meet. It's nice to see our student athletes striving for the best while honoring others. Earlier this week, softball players paid homage to breast cancer survivors. This past Tuesday, softball players brought out breast cancer survivors and fighters. Today, softball has a senior night starting at 5. be sure to come out and support the wave. Softball isn't the only one doing good things. Our baseball team has helped raise money for the Amory tornado victims. Tuesday, Tupelo baseball team raised at least $3,000 in order to help Amory's athletics department. Jonathan Rogers threw a no-hitter leading Tupelo to a 9-0 win against Grenada. Next week on WTHS Sports, we will have video of 3 Lady Waves signing to colleges to continue their basketball careers. Signing out, your favorite host, Lundin.
Thanks, Lundin. Students here at THS continue to impress us. Scarlett fills us in on a sophomore creating new apps.
Whether it's scrolling through social media or just listening to music, we are always using the apps on our phones. Apps' easy accessibility is a thing that keeps us connected. One student has taken advantage of this and used it to make himself successful. Daniel Pearson is a sophomore here at THS. He has developed a variety of apps by himself and through the company Vitality South.
I've developed one app, such as the Tupelo Rave app, which is for local events, for the raves, where you can go and buy your tickets, all QR code based. Another app I built was Bizzle, which is where you can just tap someone else's phone and instantly share a profile of information with that other person.
There are several different approaches to creating apps. Daniel uses an app that provides him with the tools to build his own custom app.
So at least how I did it is I used a framework called Flutter, where I can just work in one code base and build apps across multiple different platforms.
Daniel started building software at the age of 12. Eventually, he branched out to building apps.
It's just something I've always just been passionate about doing. I just wanted to really just create something for people to use, just to make the world a better place, I guess.
Daniel has promoted his work through other popular apps and through the voices of other people.
I've ran ads on social media, on Instagram and Snapchat, to really get out there, and also just through other people and connections, having them come out and post on their stories and just help promote it overall.
Daniel has really made a difference in the way we connect with one another, so be sure to support him and check out some of his apps. I'm Scarlett Von Strahl, WTHS News.
Thanks, Scarlett. We have many talented students here. Before we go, don't forget to check out our award-winning show choir's last shows of the year at the PAC tonight at 6 and tomorrow at 1 and 6. That's all we have for this week. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching this week's edition of WTHS News. Have a great week.